So we're riding this bike at the beach. It started running real bad. Started missing, skipping, and everything like that. It was a pretty hot day and pretty good traffic. And couldn't figure it out. And I thought about what's the last thing I touched. And I put this cool red fan on here. This cowling, the cowlings were all on here. I put this cool red fan on here from AliExpress. It goes like $2. And it just came apart. Completely just disintegrated on us. So that's weird. So we were in a pinch. So what I did was I noticed the fan was all broken, and I figured it must be overheating because now that hot air is trapped in those shrouds. So we didn't have any tools. We were on the beach, we were a long way from the truck. So we just ripped the shroud off. They just break it, you know, because the shroud's held on by the, you have to take off the intake manifold and the exhaust. So we just took what we had, you know, Leatherman tool, and just broke it and ripped it off. And looked online, they aren't that expensive, like $20 for a new one. So what the hell? We threw it in the garbage can. No fan, no shrouds. And the bike worked pretty good. I think it's still overheated in traffic. Now I would personally never run the bike without shrouds because I do a lot of city driving traffic. I don't want it to overheat, and I know that's what they're for. Circulates the air, brings it through the shroud, exits it down here, and it cools the fins. Without all that, it's just a it's like an old dirt bike engine, and so you need to be going pretty fast on a pretty cool day, I think, to keep it cool. But it stayed pretty cool running like this. We purposely didn't drive in any thick traffic. We kept it just on the beach roads doing about 30, 40 miles an hour. You have to realize these cooling fans and shroud situations, they're a marvel. You take these little air-cooled engines are running around the busiest cities in the world. New Delhi, India, Beijing, China. Millions of these things every day driving the city, and they're all reliable. So this is quite the ingenious invention. If those were Harley Davidsons, they'd all be overheating. I'm curious if I just lived in the country and drove on highway roads, pretty good speeds, maybe in the north, maybe I lived in, I don't know, South Dakota. Could I run this bike with no fan and no shroud? Would I get more horsepower? Would it run good? So I might test this thing before I put the shroud on and see if this fan actually takes any horsepower. So I bought a Glixel cam, a Glixel CDI, a Glixel variator, and a Glixel fan here. All my Glixel stuff has ended up in this box right here. Never buy Glixel again. So I put the stock fan back on. Seems to be better quality. And I got this brand new airbox. I got the airbox from GY6 Racing. I paid more for it. You can get these things for like $14, but I think I paid like $24 because the quality is better. They're getting like a better one. And also, this one works with the pair mod. And I took my pair off, but I don't know if it still has to be like that. No idea. I didn't want to get the wrong one. The other one comes all the way down here, and it's for the non-pair version. But this had the pair mod on it, but I took it off. I don't know if that little thing sticking out matters. Who knows? So I just got the expensive one. Figured I'd get the good one. I want to test the temperature with and without the cowl and the fan. And I'll try to test the temperature on the valve cover here, and then also on the exhaust pipe. Those are two exposed areas when I have the cowling on. Idle it for 1 minute and then test it with and without the shroud. Maybe drive around the block a couple times and test it with and without the shroud. And then for the speed test, I'm going to run it around a while on country roads so it's heated up about as hot as it would get, and then do the speed test. Idle it for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I get the temperature on it. Now ride around the block a couple times and check the temperature again. Alright, drove around the neighborhood a little bit. 157, 148. Engine guys out there, these temperatures seem pretty low. And it's because it's the middle of winter here in Florida. Out here in 60-degree weather, suffering. So I'm going to run this thing out to about 60 miles an hour. I'll do a drag race. We'll look at the acceleration and see which one is quicker, fan or no fan. Yeah, so that was interesting results. The fan has to create drag, so it has to be taking horsepower. But it runs better with the fan and the shroud on, and it was actually a few tenths quicker. I think top speed was about the same. It runs all the way out, but I imagine it was about the same. And it was quicker with the fan on, that's for sure.